Get the coolest mesh online at mesh.alfred.vip.
I believe in real life.
I just have to make Finn dinner and then I'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go. I'm so sorry. You are a lifesaver.
Ellie, wait.
I have to move out. Tomorrow? What?
I saw the ad about renting a room, and I thought I'd come by and say hi.
Most people, call first. Hello?
Hey, it's Ronan. Is this a good time?
My son's gonna be home soon.
Real One Entertainment, that means it's basically like a Hallmark style movie, because Real One makes a lot of Hallmark style movies. Interestingly, they are obviously buying into the diversity, and it's interesting how the New World Order is changing companies and controlling people by, when they have a vision of, oh, we want to change the demographic over here, they have something to, they sell it as something else to the people, like, oh, we are selling it as the world is better, diversity makes us stronger, but the diversity will now bring only the demographics they want. It is not true diversity, it is not diversity of thought, it is not real diversity. Diversity is just what they sell, but what they really want is they want certain, they want to change certain, the demographics, they want to add this and this demographics into this other area. They sell the diversity thing and they bring only those particular demographics they want. Others are banned. So it's not even the diversity that they claim to sell. So it is just like they want to decrease population of the world, then they sell things like, homosexuality, at the same time they are selling transgenderism, which is basically castrating males, all those kinds of things, but what they really want is to decrease the population, but they are saying it as, oh, it is a civil right to be against gays. Oh, it's a civil right to not allow kids being indoctrinated, because if you want to indoctrinate people, for example, when you look at the radical Islamists that blow up themselves, they were indoctrinated at childhood. The best time to indoctrinate somebody is at childhood. That is why the LGBT transgender movement is now going after children. There are those who are confused and they don't understand that it is from the top down. It is like those are the top with the New World Order, the George Soros and co, the Rockefeller Foundation, the World Economic Forum, the Bill Gates, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They have their goal of what they want to do. Then they have grassroots movements that will sell it as something else, but it is to fulfill the bigger goal. Just like BLM, what did the BLM riots achieve? It just created a situation where the value of property was destroyed, so BlackRock could move in and buy more property than before. And it has also created a situation where the racial situation is worse. Now people look upon African Americans worse, and they have every right to, when you look at all the destruction and everything. So what good came out of it for African Americans? Nothing. It just destroyed them. It just worked against them. How many African Americans have died since then doing the riots? And look at how violence has exploded. But it is intentional, because keep in mind that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and all these guys, they are just going to use African Americans. They will eliminate them eventually. They don't want them, mocking up the surface of the earth that they want to build, the new world that they want to build. So they'll use them for now, and kill them later. That is why you see things going the way they are. African Americans, are a big consideration in every decision. Oh, what will African Americans think? Oh, let us not offend African Americans. But it is only protecting African American criminals, not African American upstanding citizens. If you're an African American and you're an upstanding citizen, how easy has it been for you to rise or get richer with Democrat policies? It has not, especially with the increase in taxes and the war on wealth and all of that. That only affects certain classes of wealthy people, but not certain people within the 1%. It does not affect the World Economic Forum group. It does not affect, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation folks, especially since those guys are charities. It does not affect the Warren Buffetts. There are certain rich people it will affect, but it is a style of it, just like the situation with the moves that were taken against Russia. The restrictions and all the whatever that was taken against Russia and all the trade restrictions to make Russia stop the war, has it helped? Number one, it did not work, and everybody knew it was not going to work. So what was the goal? But look at what it has done. All the resources of Russians in other countries have now been shifted to oligarchs. You first of all started hearing the term Russian oligarchs, but now all that wealth has now been shifted to European oligarchs. Oligarchs, UK folks, the Charles Klaus folks, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation folks. All that wealth has been moved there. Look at the Ukraine situation. All that money from war is being benefited, is translated into a lot of money for those who invest and are part of the military industrial complex. Those who have stocks in Raytheon and, many of this, a lot of stocks in many of these companies that profit of war. A lot of money. And Ukraine has signed deals with BlackRock that, if Ukraine is restored, that, BlackRock is going to help to rebuild Ukraine. That is an entire country. So you can see how BlackRock has benefited from BLM, the BLM riots of George Floyd, and also benefited from the Ukraine war. A lot of money. And we'll also look at the Nord Stream pipeline, which the US blew up. The Biden administration, with the Pentagon and all of them, blew up. So think about all that oil now. And it's going into the hands of certain private individuals. These guys are above taxes. These are the people that you pay taxes to. These are the people, when America is in debt, who is America in debt to? These are the people that America is in debt to. America is owing these individuals money. The more you raise the debt ceiling, who is America being in debt to? Because there are two sides to the coin. If you are owing money, you are owing the money to someone else. So who is America owing the money to when it keeps on using the raising the debt ceiling with the Fed? And when people don't understand the Federal Reserve and that the Federal Reserve is a private company owned by private individuals, they don't understand the whole scam of what this is. So people need to be wise and people need to be smart. Let's just go through with this trailer. I just wanted to say that the diversity, equity, inclusion, and the ESG score specifically, equity, sustainability, and the rest of it, it is being used to manipulate nations through companies, schools, and all of them. They want good ESG scores, so they have to input this. So it is a way to basically manipulate every private companies even to move to a higher vision. So at the top it is something else, at the bottom is sold as, it is equity, we are showing more inclusion, we are all of this. But no, there's a bigger vision from the top. It's sold as something else to those at the bottom. It's like people who go to war, who believe they are going to fight for their country. But in reality, you are going to fight to make the monarch richer. That was the reason why the war was started. The war was started because the monarch or the king or the president or those who sponsored the president, they wanted to make more money. So that is the real reason for the war. The love of money is the root of all evil. They wanted money. But the soldier on the ground is fighting for his country, and they will give him medals, and he will be proud of his medals and train his son, fight for your country. But the real reason for the war is money. That is not entering the soldier's pocket. So at the bottom level, the people are operating under these ideologies. But at the top, that is really controlling it. It's all about a bigger scheme for something else. So that is what ESG scores is, and you can see with all these movies that are falling into this foolishness of to get better ESG scores, the diversity, include this race, that race, include LGBT and all of that. And it's also changing the language, and it's marking a new age. This is one of the things that the Nazis did. Changing the language, putting your flag everywhere like the rainbow flag people are doing, it sends a message. Even the rainbow flag is not about the rainbow flag, it's about the new world order, because it's little bits that merge up into one big whole of a new world order. That will eventually enslave everything, and nobody can go against whoever is going to be at the top of the new world order, who is going to eventually later be the Antichrist.
And I would really rather the first thing that he see not be a naked stranger. I didn't realize I'd let the entire New York Philharmonic move in too. His clothes are ruined!
I'm gonna take you guys out to apologize. In life, there's nothing better than a blank canvas. I get paid to paint public murals in different cities. I've traveled all over this country, and this is probably one of the best cups of coffee I've ever had.
Isn't it exhausting? Just being so happy all the time.
Life's short. You gotta enjoy every moment.
My dad, sometimes he just makes me want to scream.
If you and I went in together, we have the power.
Hi, little girl.
Hi.
This is Sophia, my fiance. It would mean a lot to both of us if you would say a few words at the wedding.
You can't hold it in. You gotta let it go.
She forgot to mention just how cute you were.
He gets really attached to people, and then when they leave, he gets hurt.
I know you feel something too.
I'm the working mom of a deaf child. I need somebody solid, not some drifter who could just disappear at the drop of a hat.
I'm sorry. I can't say those things.
The truth is, my dad and I, we don't have a great relationship, but you have to try. That's the really beautiful thing about life. Every day is a blank canvas.
That painting is beautiful. That's a nice mural. It's a very good painting.
Day is a blank canvas.
Was that okay?
We can work on it.
At the end of the day, it's a beautiful movie. It was nicely done. Life story. It's a good storyline. Of course, there is the diversity aspect in the casting. But that being said, there's no story like a story that is Christian. For example, imagine how much more beautiful this story would have been if at the end of all this, they went to a church or they met a traveling minister, or they attended a crusade or a revival meeting or whatever, and there was a hidden minister, and the boy had his ears restored, he had his hearing restored. People getting their hearing restored is common in churches, that has the move of the Spirit. There are a lot of meetings with Pastor Chris Oyakhilome, where that happens a lot. So good, Bible-based healing ministries, or ministries where the healing power of God is present, that would have been the icing on the cake, and really like spicing up. But it's important that we as Christians, start our own firms, our own companies, to preach the gospel. If you like to start your own Christian entertainment company, please do so. You have to do so. If you're a church, you should do so. You should have a movie department, turn your drama department into a movie company. Start with making shorts for YouTube or TikTok, based on little dramas and skits, that tell the gospel, and then advertise the church at the end of it. Turn the choir into a record label, let individuals within the choir have record deals, give them record deals, let the choir also have its own albums, and fair record deals where, money is made, and also get people within the congregation, who are into drawing, let them start their own let the church have its own comic book company, or its own manga comics, or its own video game company. Let's say the name of the church is On Fire Ministries, so it can be like the choir record label will be On Fire Records. The drama department movie company will now be On Fire Pictures, On Fire Movies, or On Fire Movie Company. The video game company On Fire Games, the comic book company On Fire Comics, so you have to start a for-profit, that all of this will be connected to, because keep in mind, we are in competition with the messages of corporations. Facebook dedicated and has given billions to the Democrat Party, has given billions to, you know, the I would say hundreds of millions to the Democrat Party. That has been proven, but billions that has been proven to LGBT causes and to push LGBT ideology to the world. So imagine that kind of situation. We are not dealing in a world where corporations have their own message, their own gospel, which is ungodly, which is not really a gospel, which is, you know, just a satanic message. So how can we fight and push our message without using corporations as well, you know, but using non-profit organizations that when we ask people for money, the people actually shrek and, you know, they hold their head up like, what is this? Oh, they are trying to take my money. And the people end up giving less than what they would have spent at a barista or, you know, at a coffee shop. It would have even been better if the church starts a coffee shop, you know, and then, because people, the same people that will be hesitant to donate $5 to a church that they have been attending for 5 years, you know, will not mind spending $20, you know, after church at a coffee store for just one coffee, not to even talk about the snacks that go with the coffee, you know. So it is even better for the church to start, you know, a coffee shop, you know, when it comes to financing the church, you know, and then the money that comes from there is what really finances the church than all this. A lot of times, you know, building a situation where the church running is based off of asking for money, and so the church has to keep asking, and the more the church asks, the devil has positioned things to make it look like, oh, they are just about money. Oh, they look at the pastor wants to have a private jet, blah 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 blah. You know, they talk all this nonsense. You know, so be smart. You know, and you know, You have to pray about it, you know, not just because I said it, you have to pray about it, you know, starting a corporation, you know, even having an investment aspect, you know, that, and you have to tell the church that this is what you are doing. So let the church invest perhaps in stocks or in hedge funds or whatever. So the church has a strong financial base, even buy land, you know, have farms that grow food and all of that, you know. So the church has to start thinking that way. You know, we have to also function in the space of industries and corporations for us to have a strong voice and have a great influence over this world. Otherwise, we'll be at the mercy of the world. Look at how the world basically almost shut down every church forever through the lockdowns. You know, that was the plan of the world. But we thank God for the church, and specifically for the church like Christ Embassy, you know, by Pastor Chris Economy, where he established a prayer chain where people were praying around the clock non-stop. You know, and he actually knew the truth about it. He knew it was not about the virus, you know. So the virus was handled from the beginning. You know, the virus is less deadly than mosquito bites, but they wanted to shut down the world for the virus, you know, because it was not about the virus. It was about what they wanted to do, you know, the lockdowns and, you know, the great wealth transfer, because a lot of wealth was transferred. A lot of businesses were shut down that will never come back. A lot of businesses, you know, their customers have left. You know, it was that was the greatest wealth transfer. Some businesses were allowed to operate, some were not allowed to. So that was basically the greatest wealth transfer in history, you know. And it was all done in the guise of trying to save your life. Oh, it is for the good of humanity and all of that. But that's the scam, and that's why they are trying to come up with climate change lockdowns. So they will bring hysteria about something like, oh, it is a virus, oh, it is climate change, oh, because of that. But the so-called solutions are the same thing. No matter the situation, you know, it's always going to be a vaccine. It's always going to be lockdown because of, you know, they want to push these things for several reasons. You know, they want a vax passport, you know, even though the virus in particular has gone, you know, they'll still push this kinds of stuff. So that is what those people are about, you know. But, you know, that is why we as Christians, we must have power. We must have political influence. We must have influence over industries, corporations. You know, we must start thinking and moving fast in these areas, you know, so that we can cause change and we can stop the plans of the devil. Because what power does the devil have? I mean, what power does Bill Gates really have? You know, Bill Gates just walked into a space that we good people have not walked into. You know, we left it for the Bill Gates and for the devil to take over. You know, evil prospers when good men do nothing, you know. So we need to start doing something. We need to understand that there's nothing wrong with being powerful. There's nothing wrong with acquiring political power, financial power. What matters is what you do with it. We have to use it for good. We have to use it to protect righteousness. And if the church, who are the only ones that can define righteousness or even have an idea of it, especially in this world where the world doesn't even know what love is. They say love is love, and they introduce LGBT and all kinds of ridiculousness, maps, which, is basically pedos, they bring all this weird stuff in, and to them it is love and all this foolishness, but we need to be the ones to stand up. If you do not stand up, all is lost. There's no hope for the world. So make sure you check out Alfred.vip. Reach out to us on invest.alfred.vip if we want to invest in our own programs to create Christian entertainment. Thank you and God bless you. If America has a problem, leave America. You could be anywhere in the world. Why remain there? Why stay in the most racist place on earth and buy the most expensive home? Yes, history's recorded. You can be part of the 1% and at the same time also have street cred unless you buy the whole street and upgrade the lives that only in America. Say this prayer audibly if you've not given your heart to Jesus Christ. Dear God, I believe in my heart that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came, died, and was raised from the dead to save me. I confess Him, Lord, over my life and ask You to give me Your Holy Spirit to live within me. I receive Your Spirit by faith and thank You for I am now born again. In Jesus' name, amen. If you just prayed that prayer, congratulations, you're now a Christian. Go to Alfred.vip and click the salvation prayer link in the main menu to get resources that will help you with your work with God. God bless you.